Welcome to the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. You are now part of a small underground movement of dent technicians from all over the world. We are on a mission to change our industry with innovation, intelligence, and skill. But because we don't rely on an insurance company to steer customers our way, we need to do things different. We need to do things smarter. We do that through a network of technicians that we call the Tactical Tech Movement. Now let's get this revolution started.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? John Hiley here with the Tactical Dent Tech Podcast. Here with the co-host, beautiful Angela Hiley.
Aww, ain't you so sweet?
That's how you do it, guys, right there.
I just tickled my pickle.
Tickled her pickle. That's what I'd be trying to make you do. All right, So anyhow, I just want to say, I don't know if we said it over last show, but everybody who came up to us and said that they just absolutely loved our podcast, I just want to thank all you guys because that means a lot to us, and that's like, basically that gives us fuel to keep going. I mean, there's times when we have weeks that are really, really hectic, and there's times that, that we don't feel like doing it, but I totally, like, when I hear that we've affected you guys, and even if we just made you laugh, and some of you folks that came up and said,
I gave you a giggle.
Yeah,
we made you giggle, not I.
You know, the funny thing is, though, I get all the compliments on her. They're like, "Oh wow, your wife is so funny," and "Oh wow,
I
she's so."
never thought I was really that funny, though.
Yeah,
maybe
you're funny.
you brought that out.
I think somebody actually sent me a message, and he said that he apologized for my, our dog that died. Noah.
No, he passed away. Don't. Say
But he said it was like the funniest show. He laughed his ass off about it, and I thought that was cool. You know what I mean? We can take a situation.
Because he had the biggest wiener there was for a little 9-pound dog.
We probably told the time we put that sock on his head, and he was running around with a sock on his head.
No, that was Jonathan that used to do that. That would put the sock on his head.
So we used to call him Sockhead.
No, we never called him.
Actually, I called him Handsome.
Yeah.
And he wasn't the... All right, so he wasn't the cutest thing in the world. He had one ear that stuck up and one ear that went down.
Or we call him, like, he'd be called Sanchez. He was like a dirty Sanchez.
We thought that's what we should have named him, was like Dirty Sanchez.
He's a dirty little shit.
Oh, man, he was rough. He was raw, man.
Yeah.
He was like he was like a dirty porn star dog that never had any.
Thanks to you, I wanted to get his balls cut off, but you said no.
I don't know if that would have helped him.
They say that if you do not plan on breeding your male dog, that it's torture.
Well, they say that potatoes are bad for you, and I don't believe them because they feel good when you eat them. So there.
Okay.
I don't believe anything they say.
They say.
They used to say that milk made your bones strong, but then we come to find out that it weakens them at a certain age.
Yeah.
That's why you don't see, like, full-grown animals drinking milk.
I drank a shitload of milk when I was pregnant with Jonathan, though.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, I still like milk.
I don't like it.
I like it when you eat Fruity Pebbles or when you eat Cocoa Pebbles, and then you get that milk at the end that you can drink.
Yeah.
That stuff is the bomb. Mm-hmm. That's almost like, when I was a kid, I used to drink that, like, strawberry milk.
Ugh.
Oh, it's delicious.
I like chocolate.
Hey, guess who? Somebody sent me a message today, Ray Sapnew. And he was watching my Instagrams and seeing that I like to put yogurt and blueberries on my waffles. And he sent me a picture today. He's been eating it for a week, and he says it's fucking awesome.
Oh, he's never done that before?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, so shout out to Ray, man. You know what it's about now. I want more of them photos, you guys. Try it. I'm telling you. Don't put the syrup on that crap. It's too much sugar.
Yeah, or you put a scoop of peanut butter on there, too.
Yeah, but I use this. We got a local grocery store that makes this peanut butter, like, right there. They have, like, a peanut butter they do it all, like, with honey nuts. And
no, it's peanut butter, but they put honey in it.
I could have sworn it was honey nuts.
No.
The stuff is delicious, though.
Yes.
She thought it was going to be disgusting, and then I bought it, and then they eat it all.
Because I thought it was organic peanut butter, and anybody that has tried organic peanut butter, it's like you put some of that stuff in your mouth, and it takes all the moisture out of it. You're just like, ugh.
Yeah, most stuff that's organic sucks.
Not all stuff.
Yeah. All stuff. No, wait. We get them cookies, them organic. Tell them about the cookies.
The cookies are delicious.
They
They're
are.
made in Florida. I forget where about, but they're vegan cookies, and I think you can eat a whole box of them.
Vegan cookies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, you guys know how you can spot a vegan at a dinner party? Oh, don't worry, they'll tell you.
Of course. Of course.
I am vegan.
Okay, but
I
we're
can't eat
so
that.
going off track. Why don't we
All right.
talk about Saturday night at the Mobile Tech Expo?
Yeah, we were going to talk about the weirdo religious guy who tried to make me join his cult, but we decided that deserved a whole episode, and I think I am going to dedicate it for that.
Yeah.
Again, we're not going to say his name. He reached out and apologized to me, and I don't know how sincere it was because some of the things I've heard in the past, and I didn't really want to conversate back because I was afraid it would go back to that same conversation and didn't want
I
to
would
go
have just
there.
left it like you didn't respond back, did you?
No, but I do accept his apology, so you're probably listening to this. Probably the reason why he apologized to me is because he heard this. But I do accept his apology. I just don't want to talk about it with him because I just think he's weird.
Nope, that wouldn't be me. I'd be like, fuck that shit.
Look, you can accept somebody's apology and still, learn from
I'd be
it and
saying,
decide.
okay, no thank you, moving on.
What is that? You forgive, but you don't forget.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy that somebody apologizes to me for me yelling at him because he reflected on it
I wouldn't even have
and knew.
responded back. I would have just been like,
I didn't respond back.
oh, you didn't?
No.
You didn't say
I
that
did
you
not write
accept-
anything back, no, because I knew it would turn into this weirdo conversation, and I just wasn't going to be a part of it, you know? But I'm going to talk about it without naming exactly who he is, okay? Because I don't want to do that.
Because that's like a whole... Okay, let's talk about the podcast, the show we're going to
Well,
do.
that was we were pumping that up last episode, so I wanted to address that, you know. And I'm going to talk about cult leaders, and I'm going to talk about how they get people to follow them, and their techniques and stuff like that are normally normal stuff that you could do, but they mask it like it's something like they're some sort of weirdo prophet or
I
something like
just
that.
think there's some people out there that just think they're too righteous, and they're not.
Yeah, you know, but also you had that Scientology people that put them things in your hands and they were going to do it anyway. And it's just an all big smoke and mirrors thing to get you to follow them. You know what I mean? And I ain't down with that, man. I don't follow any man, okay? I follow me. Period.
Okay, let's talk about Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night. At Mango's.
Oh, have you guys ever been to Mango's?
Oh, that is oh my God. Woody. Yeah, I walked into that place and it was like, oh,
Well,
it was my place.
Yeah, yeah. So it's salsa dancing, right?
No, what it is there is actually the next Mobile Tech Expo. We're gonna go there. You pay for a ticket and you do a 3-course meal, and it's a show. It's basically people on stage that are performing. That's what it is. And then then you go upstairs, and then there's 2 different bars that are away from the area where the people are on stage performing. Because if you remember correctly, there was there's tables where people were eating and stuff
Place
like
is
that.
massive too, guys. Huge. And they even had a if we went upstairs, right? So I'll tell you a funny story. We had Amanda Costa's brother with us, right? And we love
Nick.
that. We love Nick, okay? Nick's a funny, awesome guy. And he's lit by the time we even leave the restaurant. So we go to Bahama Breeze. We get in our taxi driver, and our taxi driver somehow got us to downtown Orlando in 12 minutes. Imagine
Was it
that.
downtown Orlando?
It's wherever Mango's is at. I mean, he took so many crazy ways, and he honked his way through all the traffic. And then you remember he got in that center lane and ran past everybody honking his horn. And then he got
tipsy.
he got in the middle lane and then shot out where you're supposed to go left, but then got ahead of a semi and honked his way in front of a
I
semi.
remember that. I thought the semi was going to hit us.
Oh, the semi let us in though. I mean, it's something about driving a big white van that has black letters on it. I think
Yeah,
people,
and a crazy old man.
I think
that's
they think you're
driving
a
it.
police rig or something like that.
Who
This guy's got
knows?
it planned. But this guy got us in there something we ain't never seen. We were cheering him on. And then he drops us off right in front of Mango's with people behind him, and they're honking their horns and stuff, and he's yelling, "I no speak English." And,
No Espanol or something.
yeah, no speak English. And
No
then he goes
speak-
out and he gets his little thing
Wait,
where he steps us
Espanol
all
is
out and
Spanish.
walks us all out. And he comes back and picks us up. I mean, this dude drove us everywhere over the weekend. And we get into Mango's where Nick's there, right? And we look around where is Nick? Okay. We were not literally there for 5 minutes ordering drinks and Nick is gone. Okay. So we're ah, shit. So we go up in the elevator, we go upstairs, right? And I look at Woody and I say, wouldn't it be crazy if he was up there dancing on top of the bar or something like that, right? Well, we got into the dance club area and I was not too far off. Because
he was out there having a good time.
Oh, we walked in there and it's like he was doing, you guys.
He's getting his dance on.
Yeah, you guys remember that thing where you did the sprinkler? Like you turned around. It's like as we walked in, he was midway with the sprinkler and he just turned into us and gave us a big old point and was like, yeah, this is where it's at, you know?
Yeah, it was a good
And then from
time.
then on, it was just off the hook all night long.
Angie got white girl wasted.
Yeah, yeah. And we ended up meeting Troy. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. He's a guy from Texas. You guys might know him. Big old giant dude. Him and his brother. His brother looks like an Amish guy.
Oh, did he have a red beard?
Yeah. I asked him where he parked his buggy. Cool dudes, man. Cool as shit. But they're two guys from Texas. They're brothers. The Troy, man, he is the massive man. Massive giant dude. And his brother, you know, big old dude too. And we're out there hanging out with them guys. Cool as hell. Got to meet Troy's girlfriend. Hung out with them out there.
I don't remember much of that.
Well, because you got shit face, man. Couldn't even get up in the morning. You were in bad shape.
But Mangoes was so much fun, though.
And
I'd do it again. I just wouldn't. I think what it was is I didn't eat too much at the restaurant. I think that's what my problem was. I didn't have a good base going on. And I had just too much excitement. You know, you had music playing, you had people dancing, you had a show going on.
Yeah.
It was just my type of place.
Well, we had Selena and Louie with us, and Selena was like early on in the night, and just they were doing shots together. And if you guys don't know Selena and Louie, Louie works for Gene Fetty, and then Selena is his wife. And
Selena's my girl.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like Louie is one of the straight up, like he's a dude who you want to roll with you, man. He's a trustworthy guy, honest, sincere, good dude. He's just like one of them guys you want in your crew. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he's in our crew.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So, and then Selena, just an awesome girl, awesome person.
No, she likes to do it up.
She likes to do it up, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was the night at Mangoes, and you know,
Mangoes was fun.
If you guys get a chance to go, I can't even explain it. It's like 2 stories of a dance floor with this giant, like, huge stairway.
It has a big stage, and then it has 2 stairways that lead up to like a top stage up there.
Right.
But the 2 dance places that you go to are in like 2 different areas to where it's not affecting the stage area where people are performing.
And it's like everybody's wearing these cheetah vests and cheetah outfits, you know, like all the employees there. And they have like these giant, like big ass drinks that, you know, people are walking around with. It was interesting.
Oh, I love that place. I'm going back next year.
I guess Woody got a hold of one of their vests one year.
Well, someone
bought it. Max did.
Somebody paid the bartender or something for somebody to take one of their vests off so Woody could wear it.
Yeah. So off the hook, good night. And what happened after that, babe?
I was hungover.
Oh, wait. No. Now here's the funny part, right? When we left the restaurant, we knew we had to take John back home, right?
That's before we went to Mangoes.
Yeah, it's before we went to Mangoes. And the taxi driver was like, "Hey, boss, don't worry, I get him there."
No.
He's like, "I got 7 kids, man."
No. I mean, he was showing me pictures. He had 2 kids that played football, and I'm like, no.
But he was also showing us pictures of that giant bong that he smokes out of that's made out of a watermelon.
Oh, that's right.
And we were actually, the funny thing was, we were out with Brandon David that night too, and I didn't even know who he was until...
Who's that guy?
Until we got to Mangoes. You know, the surfer dude.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were out with him, you know.
He's
he was
okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so funny. He's like, he walks up to me and goes, "Hey, man," he's like, I used to not like you, you know, but I think you're pretty cool, right? And
I'll be like, I don't know who the fuck you are.
Well, no, I didn't know who he was at the time. That's the thing. And so I was just like, you know, I'll be honest with you guys. I wouldn't want all of you to like me. And to be honest with you, if everybody out there liked me, I wouldn't be doing my job correct, okay? Because, or I wouldn't just, not even my job, right? And truly, my job is to entertain, right? Because that's why I'm here. That's why I do multiple podcasts. That's why I do videos, stuff like that. I'm trying to entertain you, but I'm trying to do it where I offend a certain amount of people, okay? Because I'm telling you what, people who ride in the middle, people who ride that little center like line, right? Where they don't want to offend anybody to the right. They don't want to offend anybody to the left. They're lukewarm, man. Like, nobody gets them. Like, people are just like, wow, are you real? Are you even real? Do you want?
Well, I think they normally do offend people on whichever
They
side.
offend them in a weird way, though. They offend them like, God, is this guy even, is he real, you know? And they offend them in a way that it's like unauthentic, you know what I mean? And the truth of the matter is that, like, I'm cool with hot and cold. I mean, I don't need no lukewarm people. I mean, hot and cold. Either you like me or you don't. That's fine. I mean, I accept that 100%.
But then you got people that are going to pretend to like you because they're going to try and benefit off of
I see that in their eyes so quick. I'll tell you guys a funny story. Like, I used to do these network marketing things here locally, you know? And I walk into a place, you guys know me. I got tattoos everywhere, you know what I mean? And this and that. And I'm, I walk up in there, man, you can tell the people that look at me and think I'm a bum right off the bat, right? And that's okay, And then they, it's so funny, the same people that, like, later on, somebody walks up to them like, hey, man, that's such and such, he does this or he does that, And they find out about it, right? And then you see a different look in their eye when they're staring at you the next time.
Yeah.
Because now they know that you actually have something that can benefit them, right? And I always call that, like, my secret weapon to, like, to basically to surface who they are before I meet them. And if I walk into a place and somebody immediately gives me that shitty look because of just the way I look, and then later on they try to, like, come on like they're my best friend because they know I can benefit them, absolutely not. Them are the very first people I walk away from because they will do anything for money. When you walk into a place and it doesn't matter, they just nod at you, say hello, they're polite, cordial. I know that I'm dealing with some good people. And it's an easy way for me to separate the two and understand who I'm going to do business with in the future. Mm-hmm. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So.
Now we're just staring at each other.
Oh, yeah. She's staring at me, right? She must have liked what I was dropping there, huh?
Yeah, I was really just getting lost in that moment.
That's what you got to
do.
do.
What happened there to me the other day? Like, I'll do my running around, and I don't give two shits on what I look like. It's like sweatpants, sweatshirt.
She always looks good anyway.
No makeup, hair pulled back, and I go into one of my favorite stores. I had to return some stuff, and I was talking to the manager lady that was in there, and she's like, "Oh, you just got back from Florida. What was your name again?" I'm like, "Angela." And then she was asking me, she's like, "Oh, so what do you and your husband do again?" And then when I told her what we did, she got extremely quiet and was just looking at me. Like, she didn't expect for me to go into details or some details, or she didn't, I guess she was basically kind of like judging me in a way. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, what did you tell her that we did, though?
How we own a PDR shop, and
yeah.
told her about, like, how we do podcasts and how you do the whole dent trainer thing and the mega media events, and I was telling her about the trade show and stuff like that, and she just looked at me like she would have never thought that I would have been capable of, like, being a part of something that was, do you know what I'm saying?
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Most of the time I don't even have like time to get people's reactions, so I just tell them I do body work.
No, but she was like flabbergasted, and I was just kind of like, do, and then walked out of the store, and that was it.
Yeah.
She probably just thought I was like some chick that
dating a tattoo artist. Well, she's seen me before, right? I know what store you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. She probably thought everybody thinks I'm a tattoo artist everywhere I go. Like a famous one or something, because of the cars.
And that you do your own tattoos.
And I play it off like I am, is the funny thing. We went to Cleveland and...
that was like wasn't it last year when we were
that we
or
were
the
valet.
year before, something like that.
We were valet parking, and the guy's like, "Hey, man, did you do all your tattoos?"
Of course.
Yeah, the ones on my back too, man. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, man, can I get your card, man? And I'm like, oh, man, it's kind of exclusive. I live up in Dayton. I really don't give cards, And he's like, oh, man, that's so awesome, man, So the whole weekend, like, every valet person thought I was a tattoo artist.
Oh, me and Jonathan, we were just like Dear Lord. And they would like look at me and Jonathan just be looking the other way, be like.
And that time that we pulled up into a
Yeah,
gas
no.
station, and kid got out of his car, and he's like, what do you do? And it was in my Corvette, and I was like, oh man, like all the strip clubs around town, man.
You see, like the local strip club.
Like all the strip clubs, and he's like, oh yeah. He's like, and he like gets this crazy look. He's like, looks at the ground, sticks his hands in his pocket, starts kicking his feet. Real uncomfortable moment for him. And then I let him just squirm for a little while, and I'm like, oh no, man, I'm just playing. I'm in education. How can you go from that extreme, right? I'm a strip bar
Probably
owner.
got embarrassed.
Yeah, I'm a strip bar owner. Then you're like, I'm just playing. I'm in education.
Only you.
I gotta start telling people I direct porn.
No, you.
Oh, will you imagine the look in their face if I said that?
You ain't saying no. You are not doing that.
I'm gonna do it right in front of her. See what she says.
No, you are not doing that.
So look. You remember?
We're not going down that path.
I know we're going down a rabbit hole here, but I gotta tell this story too. You remember the time that we were in Foot Locker, and I got a pair of
Have
shoes.
we told this story?
I don't think so.
You sure?
We may have, but we got new listeners all the time. So we're in Foot Locker, right? Getting some shoes, right? And the dude walks up. He's like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" He's like, "Man, where you get them tattoos at, dog? And I'm like, "Oh man, I got them in the pen." That's exactly what you heard from him. Pure quiet, right? And I'm just sitting there, and I let it go for like at
Kind of
least.
funny look on his face.
I let it go for at least 10 seconds,
Just
right?
stand there like, dear Lord, help
It
me.
was so awkward for him. I could tell.
Help me.
And I looked at him. I was like, oh, I'm just playing, man. I get him down at Truth and Triumph down here in Dayton. He's like, oh shit, dog. I didn't know whether to congratulate you or what.
Congratulate you or said something else. I forget what he said though.
Yeah, that I got him in the pen.
Yeah. So tell everybody how you were so super duper busy at the Mobile Tech Expo.
Man, it wasn't only like busy, but it was like technical difficulties galore to begin with, right? Because we bought this TV, the TV wouldn't work. We tried to hook up our computer to it, it wouldn't work. And then finally, like, I go Marine style, like Navy SEAL, like, fuck
No,
this,
you
Mike.
I think you talked about that.
On the PDR College podcast.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was on PDR College, but
Oh, that's right.
yeah. So anyhow, like I got like this like Marine recon look to go on a mission. It's like 15 minutes for the show, and I'm like, fuck this, Mike. I'm like, I'm gonna handle this. So I'm walking out of the hotel. I look at Kevin, the guy who runs the Mobile Tech Expo. Like, hey, I'm getting ready to go steal my TV and take it down to the expo. He's like, I didn't hear that. So walk by Kevin, right? Go to get in my room, and I'm like calling her away. I'm like, I'm getting ready to take one of our TVs. Okay. Get in the room. Them sons of bitches are bolted down with something I've never felt. They're not even glued down. I mean, I tried to rip one off of the stand thinking I was just going to repair it later, and couldn't even get it off the TV stand. None of them. I went in every room. So they must have known that shit, right? And then I could have got them off if I had a long screwdriver, but I didn't have a long screwdriver with me. So Mike ends up calling me as I'm trying to finally rip the last one off the stand. And we ended up getting John's Apple TV, and they kind of like took our TV and ran it through the Apple TV and was able to connect it to the computer. Well, by the time I got there, everything was all jumbled up again. They were asking for like Apple IDs from John, and and they were connecting to the Wi-Fi, but it wasn't connecting. So ended up just had to sit down and give everybody that came to our booth individual walkthroughs of our websites and all of our stuff. Which basically meant that there was like about a 45-minute wait just to sit down and talk to me. So one person out of the next, and the whole weekend went through and was just busy as shit.
That's why that's not going to happen next year.
We're going to test things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to listen to me a little bit more about planning ahead.
Yeah, I ended up selling out on the media websites though at the show.
Yes, you did.
So
You're super duper busy.
we had the best show we've ever had by like 3 times.
But you could have at least taken a couple seconds out of that hectic weekend and text me back.
2
Because-
seconds is a lot of time.
Yeah, but you could have did it though.
You're right.
Yeah, yes, I am right.
You're right.
Yeah. Because here's what happened. So I already know that John's going to be extremely busy on that Saturday and Sunday. So I would text him, probably maybe the beginning of the show or, when it started. And I thought I wasn't expecting a response back. But I figured maybe 2-3 hours down the road because John is notorious. Like, anytime he's in the bathroom, he's like whipping his phone out,
It's the only time I can check my shit.
And I thought, well, he would at least have been like, oh, okay, honey, I'll see you in a little bit. Love you. That's all, like, it doesn't take that long. And I'm just like, man. So then we get down to the show, and his phone's like sitting right beside him. And I'm thinking he could have took just like 2 seconds. All you could just do like a little heart emoji and then the you. So it would have been like, love you. To me.
Yeah.
So that way I felt important. Because John gives me mass amounts of attention and love. And I already knew that I wasn't going to be able to get everything that I normally get. But it would have been nice, just a little love you back. So that's what I totally recommend. I don't give two shits how busy anybody is. It does not take, maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds out of your day to respond back to your loved one and saying, I love you, I'm thinking of you. Okay, honey, I'll see you in a bit. Right?
Yeah, and sometimes, you should respond, just randomly, be like, I'm just thinking about pulling your panties off.
John.
I'm just giving the guys out there some tips.
Yes. So there's no excuse. No excuses whatsoever.
You know what, though? It's like there's a lot of expectations, a lot of people, And I'll tell you, there was a guy who... basically, like I told you, I had one person after the next sitting with me. These were big sales. I mean, these were big deal for a lot of people. They're changing the marketing of their entire company with me, right? So, they want to go through and they want to see what they're going to get. And that takes about 30 to 45 minutes. And I guess I had a guy that kept coming back. And he basically sent a student to me about a year ago. And I never met him in person. And the student, I charge $6,500 a week to train people. So he paid the $6,500 a week to have this guy trained with me, right? And had a few random text messages before the show from him. He said he was going to be there, and he looked forward to seeing me at the booth and these kind of things. And I said, great, man. Yeah, look me down, whatever. Hunt me down. We'll do it. So evidently... all of a sudden, I get up with a client of ours, and I'm talking to him, and we go ahead and seal the deal. He gets his new website. Mike says, hey, man, there's a guy who act like he was really mad at you. And at that time, I had no idea it had any affiliation with the guy who I didn't know who paid for a student to come train with me. So I was like, oh, really? Wow. Who was he? He's like, some guy with a beard or something like that. But he said, tell your partner I spent all this money with him, but he didn't have time to even acknowledge me, right? And I'm like, oh shit, really? Wow. I'm sitting here thinking, it didn't even dawn on me. I'm like, who spent that much money with me? Da-da-da, da-da-da. And, the reason why it didn't dawn on me, because the guy had been texting me before the show. And I'm sitting here thinking, why the fuck wouldn't you text me at the show? Okay? Why wouldn't you just text me and say, hey man, meet me at the bar or something like that, right? But evidently, this made the guy mad, right? And I found out who it was eventually because... it's so funny, his Dent Trainer membership came up due or something like that, and he kind of violently said that he wanted to cancel. So I got back to him and said, okay, we'll cancel it. And then I ended up going to the text message, found out, I was like, hey man, I texted him and I said, look, I didn't even notice you there. I was trying to put all my attention on the person that was in front of me. And as many times as I look up, everybody wants to shake my hand or take me away from them. And I feel like I'm neglecting the person that I'm talking to that waited, waited a certain amount of time to, to basically for me to show them these websites and stuff like that. And I explained that to him. I said, well, if you would have texted me, man, I swear to you that I would have taken time. Look, this guy, he spent that much money with me and all that, and I've talked to him in the past. I would have taken a lot of time to just even take him to dinner with us. I would have been happy to do that. I would have been happy to meet him at the bar. If he could have just texted me and said, hey, dude, I've been at your booth this many times. He couldn't get your attention, right? And I texted him back a very, very nice text message about that. Still mad at me. Text me back and said, you know what, man, I'll take my business elsewhere. Da-da-da-da-da.
Really?
Yeah, sent me a text message back, was like, man, I'll take my business elsewhere. You know, everybody else at the show was as busy as you were, and they took time to look up at me and shake my hand and all this kind of stuff, you know. Well, here's the thing. The guys at the show, it's different, okay, when you're selling and I know this because when I was selling the tactical PDR tools, I'm selling a $200 product, right? Way, way different than sitting there and selling a $2,200 product at the show. That was a show price. When you sell a bigger product, you cannot neglect the person sitting beside you that wants to know about that product. You have to can't. That would almost be like if you were a car salesman trying to sell a $100,000 car, and everybody who walked up to you, you left the buyer and shook their hand and talked to them and then came back to the buyer. The buyer would leave there in no time because they were being neglected by the person in front of them, right?
Yeah.
And so he sent me back this text message, and I said, you know what? I said, to be honest with you, man, that's fair, you know. I apologize for, to you. I wish you would have texted me, but I guess there's nothing else to say to each other. And I just want to hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a great year. And he texted me back and said thank you, and that was the end of our conversation. But
what a turd. You know what?
But see, he doesn't think that he was
but you
that.
know what, though? I'm your wife, though. Hello. I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? I already knew during that weekend. That
Do you know how much money she makes me? She keeps the whip on me, man. She's like whipping me.
But I already knew that I was going to have to take a back seat. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had no problem with that whatsoever. You would think that when this guy walked up there, he'd be like, wow, John Hiley is really busy. Wow, he's really taken this time out to talk to this, customer. And, I mean, in all honesty, he should have realized that during that show that, what you were doing, you weren't just able to say, oh, hold on for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on for a good 10, 15 minutes. Let me go over here and talk to that individual. He could have just, like you said, texted you, been like, and meet us up at the bar or wherever, and have like a nice conversation.
If he would have just texted me and said, he was at the show, and he was going to come up to my booth, I would have seen that, and I would have honestly welcomed it and welcomed him when I seen him. He claims that I looked at his badge, but I don't even remember the guy standing in front of me, to be honest with you.
He's just a turd.
But that's, he said he's old school about doing business and because I wouldn't shake his hand or something like that. And guys, any of you guys out there, man, I tried to meet up with as many people as possible. But the one thing that you guys got to understand is that we go to that show to sell our packages, okay? I don't go to that show to put myself on display now and shake hands with everybody who walks by like a politician, like I'm trying to get votes or something like that, okay?
But that's like after the show. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's after the show.
That's when you're able
to. But I still don't do things that way like a politician. But
no,
you know
that's
what I'm
not
saying?
what I meant.
I'm pretty frank with the people that I'm cool with and the ones that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. But honestly, every person that came up to me that listened to this show was the coolest motherfuckers that I ran into at the whole show.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, hands down, my two cats that bought the two, I can't remember y'all's name, but the titanium hammers. Some of the coolest cats I've ran into the whole time at the show.
Yeah.
The dent doctor that, got, I ain't going to say his whole name or anything like that, and his wife that ended up getting I said the wrong company name too, which is probably pretty good. Let's just say they're a franchise owner of a dent company. Two of the most genuine, cool people I've ever met, And, I just don't want to say your name because I don't know if you want that, so...
Is that the couple that left their podcast?
Yep. I could say his wife's name, too, because I've been communicating.
I would have never thought that they listened to our podcast. I would have never thought that.
Well, and there you go. Now you know.
It made me cheese because I'm like...
It's awesome.
Oh.
It was awesome, right? And, the coolest thing about that was, and the reason why, that's another reason why I ain't going to say his name or his wife's name or anything like that, is that I think the podcast, brought him the relationship even better together, and that's awesome. And I know that his wife said something like that, and I've seen the genuine part in her eyes. And
I know, and then you tell me that stuff, and it gets me all, choked up.
Because, and it's not because we bullshit, it's because we're just look, we deal with the same shit as all y'all do, okay?
Yes.
We've had the same shit. We've dealt with it. Been together for 17 years, and we got to a point.
It's over 17.
Over 17 years now. We got to a point where we began to love each other even better, like at a later time in our marriage.
Yes.
And that's genuine. That's real. Now, does it mean that we don't have our moments? No.
Oh, there's times where I want to rip John's head off.
You know what I mean?
I do. There's times where I'm just like,
Right?
man, he's really making me mad.
But let me tell you something. Sometimes that's the best connection we have right there. Afterwards. You know what they call that, don't you?
Oh, dear Lord.
I'm going to tell you. You guys know, though.
They already know.
But, you know, it's genuine now. It's not like from a place of distance.
Yeah.
It's more from a place of like where we're connected and we're usually just...
Well, I'll say like a few weeks ago, we were running into these bumps where it was just miscommunication. Do you remember that? And then we'd get in like the stupidest arguments, and it was because of miscommunication. It was because both of us was not relaying the message that needed to be like sent to one another before we got into...
Made assumptions.
Yeah, we get in like stupid little arguments.
I think that's necessary, though, y'all. Look, there's no... If somebody has a relationship with somebody and there is no friction at all like that...
There's something wrong.
Yeah, it's almost like the guy you meet who always has a smile on his face. And, you know, you want to follow him around like, you motherfucker, you're going to crack eventually.
Yeah.
I know you're going to crack. And when you do, it's going to be
crack.
bad because you're a volcano that's been stuffed up for 10 years.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
That reminds you of like Jim Carrey in that movie, Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah.
And don't you remember how he was like Mr. Nice Guy and everybody talked to him and he was like, you know, people stole his papers, people walked all over him, you know. And the first thing he ended up doing is going to take a shit in his neighbor's yard after he stole his paper back.
Remember, wasn't it like his
Yeah, he turned into Hank.
Hank, yeah.
Hank.
Yeah.
I still think it was funny how, what was that, Jennifer Aniston that was in that? Polly, or Irene, was she Irene, Jennifer Aniston?
No, it wasn't her, it was...
I'm bad at actresses.
No, it was... Reese?
Yeah.
No. Well, I don't remember what her name is.
Anyhow, I thought the funniest part was when...
She's a blonde-headed chick.
So Hank went back to, like, the original character, and then coerced her into having sex with him. And then she found out that it was really Hank. And then in the morning, all he said was like, why don't you just look at it from my point of view? I was horny.
No, he got up in the morning and he went to take a pee and he's like, oh my God. He's like, what the hell, or something about, I think I've been having sex all night. And she was like,
what?
What? That
We
wasn't
did what?
you?
That was Hank? And then she waited for him to come back.
Yeah, but then she whipped out a dildo. Don't you remember that?
Oh, man. Yeah.
He's like, what?
And it was on him.
Yeah, it was on him, not her. Him.
And then his kids, they were funny.
Yeah. That's a really good movie, though.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's an awesome movie.
Love that stuff. Mm-hmm. So going back to the Mobile Tech Expo, should we finish up real quick on it?
Sure, why not?
Well, the next night was Sunday night, and we ended up having our tool review night.
I forgot about that night.
Yeah, we had our tool review night, which she was not into because she got so hammered the night before. She didn't want to do anything, right? So I go over to the tool review night. I'm having a good time with everybody.
Now, John wants me to come over there, and he's like, we're going to do this tool review on this podcast, and it won't take that long. And I'm like, no, I already know how this is going to go. And all I wanted to do was, like, in all honesty, like, I'm going to be real. I did not want John to do it. I wanted him to stay with me, and I just wanted to not be around anybody, and I just wanted to take my husband and be selfish and keep him all to myself and cuddle with him and watch some TV and then go
Part
home
of
the
that
next
was
day.
because she got hammered the day before and was really hungover the next day.
Yeah, but we were flying out there.
And everybody, like you know, she knew that I had to do that.
I know that you had to do that, though, but you made me mad, though.
So we met Wade and Marissa over there, right? And
Marissa was, like, feeling the same way, though.
Yeah, you guys are both feeling that way.
She wanted to just take her husband away and do the same thing. Because here's the thing, like, that whole weekend, I mean, I loved it. It was an amazing weekend. I loved socializing and catching up with, you know, all the people that I missed. And yes, I was there with John, and But it's a different thing, though. Like, when you're mingling and when you're hanging out with all the people that you love, you can't... It's not like you're really spending that quality one-on-one time with your loved one.
And we were gone 5 days strong, y'all. So
Yeah.
every night was pretty much a wild night.
It was. And I think after a while, any normal human being would be like... this is it. I'm done.
Right.
I can't do this anymore. I mean, I remember waking up Sunday morning and I had these huge bags underneath my eyes, and I'm like, girl, you're getting too old for this. You can't be doing this shit no more. Maybe 1-2 nights, but not. You can't be doing this shit. And it was so funny though, because Sunday, when Jonathan and I were walking over to the show, I ran into Craig and I was telling him this, and he was just like, wait till you get to, my age. He's like, it's so much harder on you. And I'm just like, no, I think I'm really like totally feeling where that dude must be a champ, because there is no way I would be able to. No.
Well, and just to clarify, she's talking about Craig from Anson.
Yes.
And Craig and Christina was there, his daughter, who owns Anson, and then Craig he works there for her. And two of the most genuine, nice people on planet Earth.
I know.
Man, if you guys have a chance to go to one place to buy tools, because they carry everybody's tools, go there and buy them. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are very, very, very good, genuine people. They're like some of the people, you got them certain people that like, if somebody came up and said something to Craig in front of me, like they were threatening him or something like that, I would beat their ass. You know what I mean? Or any of his family, anybody around him. And, you got them people that like, you don't let people touch, you know what I mean? And you would be a guardian around them. That's how like important like Craig and his whole family is to me and to us and to all of our, look, we're going there. We're having the mega media event there in April 5th through the 7th. You heard some earlier podcasts. Going to try to do it earlier. Found out it was, what was it? What day was it? Easter. It was on Easter. Yeah, we were accidentally going to have it on Easter. So we're having it April 5th through the 7th, right? Mm-hmm. And they invited us to stay at Craig's house. Like, to go there and just stay at his house, right? And, and you never know. We might do that. I don't know. It'd probably be pretty cool. They're such great, good people.
Yeah.
That, there's not a lot of people like them. And I talk to them on different levels, too, Like, not just a superficial level. I talk to them on other levels. And, there's people that have hurt them in the past, and they make sure that these same people don't cause them to not help other people. And it's just crazy to find people that are like that. They're really dedicated to helping people and to being
they're very
like
genuine.
Legitimately good, like in a better way than some people try to act superficially.
Yeah.
That family's the real deal.
Yes, they are.
They make me want to move to Texas.
I don't know if I can move to Texas.
Shoot, Vince is going out there to a concert just to hang out with them.
Well, I guess when we go to Texas, I don't know if I can move to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still have to have some cold weather.
Yeah. So any of you tactical techs out there, if y'all can't make the Mega Media event, which is a mistake for you, especially if your company branding looks like shit, hit me up. I'll break it down for you. I'll look at your website. I'll tell you what's up. But if you guys can't make it out there, at least go there on the 7th whenever they are having their open house. Because we'll be there shooting video, we'll be there shooting photos, but we're also going to have a bunch of tool vendors out there during that time. And on the 7th, they're going to have their open house, and we're going to help them kick that off.
And that's going to be, that'll be one hell of it'll be a good time.
You know it.
It will. It'll be such a good time. But don't you
the Hileys are going to be up in there.
Uh-huh. You don't want to talk about the Sunday night thing again? When you were doing the tool review and the podcast and all this and that?
Yeah, what about it?
How
Yeah, she charged in there and dragged me out.
Here's the thing. John's like, as soon as it's done and over with, I'll be right back. Because
I swear to God, 2 minutes after it was over, she charges in there.
No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Our room was down the hallway where
same level.
Yeah, same level where Mike, Vince, and Daniel were staying. And here's the thing, I cannot go to sleep without my husband. I just can't do it. I can't do it. My husband snores like extremely loud, and Jonathan absolutely hates it. But that's what I go to sleep to.
It's like an angel. It's like an angel singing to her.
It puts me to sleep. Your snoring puts me to sleep.
It's like I'm a snoring angel.
So I'm like laying in bed there watching Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I'm like, I cannot go to sleep. And next thing you know, I look over and it's like after 12:30, and I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't give two shits if he's in there doing his podcast. I'm going in there and grabbing my husband and saying, you're coming back with me.
Mm-hmm.
I had my pajamas on.
She drugged me out with a mean look, man.
I went in there and I was like, I don't give two shits.
She wouldn't even let me say goodbye to anybody. She's just like...
No, I give everybody dirty looks.
And what did I do? I just went with you.
Exactly.
When you came in, was I standing on top of a chair or something?
I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I was standing on top of a chair just standing there.
You're coming with me.
Because I was talking to big-ass Ian.
No, you were not talking to him. He was not there. He was no longer there.
He wasn't there at that time?
No, he was not there.
You guys see how fucked up I was.
Yeah. 2 minutes after your guys' no. I know you oh so well, John Hiley. I snagged your ass up, and you already knew. You were apologizing. You were like, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. I promised it was, the podcast just got done and everything. I'm like, no, you're so full of shit.
All right, whatever.
Because you were. You weren't BSing with me. I already knew. And I brought you back.
I can't even remember who I was talking to at the time, so.
Yeah, John.
I just said I was talking to Ian, and you claim he wasn't even there.
No, he wasn't even there. But you were apologizing, and then I'm like, all I need you to do is put your pajamas on, get in that bed, go to sleep.
Make sweet love to me.
So, no, I did not make sweet love to you.
What? That never happened either?
No, but you pissed all over the floor that night.
Oh my God, you gotta tell everybody that?
Yes. That is horrible.
You know what, though? I had one of them things where it was shooting out two directions, so I had to pick one channel.
I think what it was is there was a trash can that was sitting next to the toilet, and you thought the trash can was the toilet. Because that's where all the pee was. It was going in that direction. It did not even make the toilet.
No, what it was shooting out.
Remember this, right?
It was shooting out two directions. You guys have had this. What do you do when that happens?
No.
You got to pick somewhere. So I tried to get one in the toilet and one in the trash can at the same time.
But you can
now
remember
that
this.
is a stellar move.
You said
of
you
course.
were... No.
Guys, you all remember when that happens to you, right?
No.
That's a pivotal moment. I mean, that happens like once every, 3 months.
No, when you've had too much beer to drink, that's when I know. That's usually when you piss everywhere.
No, I had a splitter.
No, you did not have no splitter, John.
She thinks she knows.
Because I do know.
Oh, man. I know you guys are laughing about this right now.
I know you too well. I'm sure there's probably a lot of women out there that can agree with me. They'd be like, yeah, my husband has done the same thing before. So
I'm known to piss on stuff. I don't know. I mean, it just... I'll tell you a quick story, guys.
No, it's because you go in there and you use the bathroom instead of looking where you're pissing.
No, I'll tell you a quick story.
You're standing up and you're looking up at the ceiling or closing your eyes. You're going, oh, and I'm like, ain't you watching where you're pissing? You're like, yeah.
And then I'm like, ooh.
And I'm like, no,
shit.
you're not.
Let me tell you guys a funny story, right? I was at back in the day, we used to go to parties up at Cincinnati University, right? And, the line at my dude's house was, like, off the hook, man. There was, like, 30 people waiting to use the restroom, right? So I ended up walking up to this window and took a piss out of it, right? All of a sudden, I heard all these people go, I looked down there. There was, like, 100 people down there. And I was pissing on all of their heads from a 3-story window. True story.
That sounds like John Hiley.
True story.
Yeah, that sounds just like you.
And then one time at Ohio State, I pissed off a balcony, and I thought I was pissing on the old kegs.
You're pissing on the...
And I was pissing on all the new kegs. And then turns out it was the Ohio State heavyweight wrestlers kegs that I pissed on. So me and him squares up in our front yard. Of course, he weighs 150 pounds more than me at that time. And, of course, I'm not backing down. I'm squaring up with him, right? So we're going around in circles, and then all of our buddies jump in and break us up. Thank God, because, I mean, I was a good wrestler, and
You got your ass beat.
At that time, yeah, I gotta admit, man. He was a big, big motherfucker, and he was their heavyweight wrestler. I was fucked.
Yeah. But I'm sure that happens to a lot of people, though.
Yeah. I mean, I did jiu-jitsu at the time, so maybe I could catch him in an arm bar, but I don't know. That big son of a bitch probably would have just picked me up or something. I only weighed about 152 pounds.
All he had to do was sit on you.
That's not all you had to do.
Yeah, all he had to do was sit on you.
If somebody sits on me, I will jam my finger up their ass.
He might have liked it, though.
He might have. Man, I'll tell you what, though. Good times. I wouldn't change anything, you know? Good times.
Well, yeah, because then you wouldn't have met me.
I did meet you, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I met you a long time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I straightened your ass out.
Forever and always. So I think we're done with this podcast tonight, y'all.
Yes, we are.
So anyhow, guys, we appreciate you for coming along in this Tactical Dent Tech podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the hustle.
Me and my girl are going to drop it, and the next episode, we're going to talk a little bit about some cult shit.
Yeah, it's all about the real deal.
Yeah, I just got to dedicate a show to this. I got to think about it a little bit deeper, you know?
Just got to keep it 100.
Yep. All right, everybody. Anyhow, we'll see you on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the king of the jungle when I can't be tamed. Take you all the way to the millennium reign. It's the return of the germ, it's that funky worm. Heated like the bottomless pit when it burn. Bro, my flow you cannot handle. I'm bumping and I'm humping like a camel on your radio channel. It's me, THREAT.